bullshit earlier on, as he was talking about, and has been for a long time, about this mental block that ViCi have when they play against TYLOO. And I was thinking, I don't really believe in that kind of mental block stuff. I think they've probably just had a rough time. But is it like 14 times, then 15? You see them make these really, really silly decisions and panic when they're just about to close out maps against TYLOO. That makes me believe then that there probably is something going on here, that they are getting in their own way. They're tripping over their own feet on the path to success versus this team.
Yeah, for sure. It's sort of the same sentiments I said in the end of it. Just like, if you're in a winning position and every time you lose and then every time you need to try and come back, it seems that you win. That can only be a mental block to me. Like, either that or you just have a really weird state of mind where it's just like, but we always need to be the comeback. We always need to be the underdog. And well, if have an underdog mentality, chances are you're not going to end up winning. So TYLOO, I think they know at any moment their opponents are going to crumble. And I think it just means that they can play with out and out confidence even when they're losing. And I think that's what I've spoken about since map 1. They have this cockiness that doesn't make sense. They have this ability to go into rounds thinking they can win them when they have no right to think that. And then they do. And that's the problem. No one shuts them down. No one stops them. We've seen them previously in the tournament, the likes of Invictus having the gall to almost shut them out of maps. And that's because Invictus have that same level of cockiness. ViCi obviously had nothing to lose when they played against TYLOO. So taking a map off them, it was like, well, we're still out, but hey, that's nice. Yeah, now we go into the knife round. Honestly, normally we talk about, this map, CT side, do you want to start on the CT side? It doesn't matter. In this match, it really doesn't matter at all. Like, I think that these rounds are going to come down mostly to confidence and who can take those individual fights, whether or not we see any sloppy mistakes from either of the teams. And of course, that means this knife rounds is going to take an extra 10 minutes when it could be done in about 5 seconds.
So, Tom, the last times that we've seen TYLOO play ViCi, 3 of those times they started CT side and got 11, 9, or 12 rounds. And then the other time they started T side and they got 6 and closed out the second half 10-5. That was the closest of the 2. So evidently they start on the CT side a lot, but the closest game they had was when they started on T. Maybe, just maybe, that's going to give the edge to ViCi now that they've got the knife, they've got their CT side, and they've got 4 players. So obviously we'll take a little bit of a pause whilst we wait for Alman to get back in here.
Do you know what's funny? I realized that like we almost have to change up the title of fence sitter, because we had that given over to Dinko for some of the early stage comparisons he made, where he'd make a prediction and then go and basically make a load of points in favor of the other team to sort of back up the fact that either way he was right. And then we haven't really called out Blair for it when he predicted ViCi to win and then was just caught wearing a TYLOO shirt. So fence sitter Blair. Obviously, the power of Asian Counter-Strike. We can definitely get that trending somewhere in the world. But yeah, in all honesty, I don't. The thing I'm confused at, did you predict a 2-1 or a 2-0? Because if you predicted a 2-1, then how did you expect them to win 2-1 if you didn't think they could win Overpass?
You know what, Tom? You make a good point. What I would say, though, is shut the hell up. So
I think they're going to win the first 2 maps and lose the last.
Now, I will say, honestly, I wasn't accounting for Overpass. I was more accounting for an Inferno in my head.
Even though we knew the maps before we predicted.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. You're a smart man.
Thank you. I do try. That's the sad part. But yeah, I think it's more so like calling 2-0 for ViCi seems a little bit ridiculous.
I get what you mean, yeah.
You know, just like if you're going to say they'll win, it's like 2-1. But Overpass, after the just context of how we got in here, it seems bleak. We'll see what happens though. Jam Young in with a nice double opening. Not able to get much more done, but he's allowed time for his teammates to rush in and die by themselves. So it's a 2v2 post plant. Cool. Not sure what Alman was doing there, but the man who found no headshots in the previous map continues the trend.
Oh, double peek through the smoke is going to catch off slowly, and it's left onto Attacker. He isolates the first duel, knows the second player's coming from a similar spot, but the flashbang actually baits him into a peek, and in the meantime, Abben has switched his spot, but Attacker is so crisp. A 1v2 clutch to give them the pistol round, and yeah, I think Orman is trying to almost, like, make up for the fact that the rest of his team aren't that aggressive. It's like he's making some of the decisions where we have almost harped on Destroyer for doing. And he's now, like, starting to match up to that. And that is starting to irritate me. Like, you're in a position where you almost have this in the bag. Sure, it almost went your way anyway. But you have to just look at that and go, if that's a 3v1, like, the percentage, like, you're the percentages, man. But I can tell even that the percentage of them winning that is way lower.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. Didn't make any sense whatsoever. Yeah, 1-0. TYLOO started off by winning the pistol, and again, it's feeling half like I'm watching American football at this point, because I've seen ViCi throw away so many rounds. TYLOO always there for the interception. Connector play, 2 pistols, but Alman unfortunately has just left his teammate to push down aggressively. I'm not too critical of that. I think he was trying to go for a flank play, having not seen any presence. Just unfortunate timing as somebody continues to claim scalps, and Kaze's left in a 1v5, not even going to push down. Instead, going to wait for them, knowing that he's up against TYLOO. And if there's one thing we know about TYLOO, these guys get aggressive. It's exactly what he's counting on as the first shot lands. He swings down lower and tags Attacker, but sadly, that won't do anything for him. No one else there to trade it out.
I want to see if the prophecy from yesterday, I named it as the 11th commandment, comes true versus ViCi, because that would at least be something if they managed to break that, because it was thou shall get slammed by TYLOO if thou makes it to the 3rd map. And that seems to be a consistent thing. Like, there's not been many teams that have been able to take them if it went to a 3rd map. I think the last team to actually do it was actually Lin Vision, which take that as you will. Everyone else who beats them seems to do it in a 2-0 fashion. If it gets to a 3rd, especially in this tournament, it's like you've already lost. So we'll see if ViCi can... That would be impressive after losing the last map. Somebody, you know, wanted to try and farm up some cash with a Mac 10. Ends up giving the CTs a Mac 10. I'd like to see that go into the hands of Kaze, potentially get him some extra cash, although he has enough for an AWP anyway. It's one of those things where down the line in the future, maybe he can get an extra pistol or something in a round where he wouldn't be able to otherwise.
TYLOO are like a movie villain, aren't they? Like a Marvel villain.
I went with the Joker, but sure, you can go Marvel if you want.
The reason I go with that is because they are dangerous. They can do a lot, but there's so many plot holes that it just doesn't make sense sometimes. Like, you kind of roughly get where they're coming from. They make some aggressive plays, they make some weird decisions, but they want to play confident and aggressive, and you kind of get it. But then when you really think about it, you don't understand why they're doing what they're doing. You know?
I think the reason I stick with the Joker is because it works on many levels. Like, even if you finally beat TYLOO, it probably means you stoop down to their level to do it. Fits the Joker. Even when you think you've beaten them, it turns out they've actually won. Definitely fits the Joker. And fits TYLOO. I don't know. I think my Joker, the reference matches up way too well. It's actually starting to scare me. But this round at least. Or the other thing is, like, there's that moment in the films where he burns the money. He does stuff just to... he damages himself just to spite others. That, again, sounds like TYLOO. I don't know. There's an awful lot of parallels between this team and the Joker.
Well, Tom, let's get back to Counter-Strike. Some men just want
to watch the world burn, you know.
We've obviously got TYLOO coming into this one and dealing a significant amount of damage to themselves, as you were saying.
Somebody's a clown. Sorry.
Oh, no. Well,
I could resist. I'm sorry, I could resist.
That one came out of left field. Oh my god. Poor somebody. Hopefully he doesn't watch this back.
He's dead, he ain't. No, he ain't gonna do anything. Well, Zoking, cheeky angle. being held. Repeat from Kaze does net a kill. Now, they know that Zoking's on the edge of the smoke. He's actually just going to fade into it. I like that. Keep control of long. Allow for your teammates to rotate in. Slowly, he's actually found Ormond as well. Did he push the smoke? He did. Of course he did. And Jamyoung is going to clean things up, thankfully. ViCi will get their first round onto the board, and they've done it in a decent fashion as well. Kept 3 players standing in the T's. Their money's actually very, very good for this sort of situation. Sure, somebody's a little bit lower in the pecking order, but everybody else has cash for days.
Well, Tom, first round for ViCi this early on is good because obviously you don't want TYLOO to just run away with it. First buy round goes their way. Hopefully now it's repeatable. I mean, we did see TYLOO open up a fair bit of space when it came down to the 3v5. Getting in each other's way there. Very late post up by Kaze. They've got to maintain aggressive control over Fountain, or else he can just be wide swung on. So essentially himself and Zoking will probably fall back soon. 3-man commitment towards this mid control. It's not ideal. They do need to maintain some information, but Alman's just gotten dropped. And Zoking's left in no man's land, but a really nice second shot onto Slowly. Gives them a man advantage from what was a really bad situation.
Somebody's peek into Advent. Probably not a duel he expected to lose, and to be honest, neither did I, but well, here we are. A 2v4. I still have to be careful in these sort of rounds. Dan King still standing, AWP in hand. Kaze jump spotting, and he's too quick on the trigger. A freebie kill, but then he walks into the hands of Zoking on the other side. Some has managed to trade. Actually going to pick up the AWP for a 1 versus 2. Bit of an interesting decision there, but it might work out for him. He's going to try and get into an afterplant spot on the bomb. The problem is, I don't know if he'd be expecting Jamyoung to be this close. He's checking the close angles, but doesn't realize that Jamyoung is right behind him. ViCi get their second dash into this next round. However, probably not enough to go for a proper purchase unless they're going to throw in a hell of a lot of Galils.
I'm really, like, that second kill for Zoking kind of blew me away. I thought he was going to die out in no man's land. It was going to be round over from that point. 3v3, they've got the control. And even then, it would have been even worse because Kaze would have been under pressure, falling back through toilets. They could have even managed to take him down. The fact that he gets the kill and gets out alive is huge. Putting ViCi now into this 3... Oh, not even so. It's probably a 4-3 if they win this one. And up against 3 MAC-10s, odds are definitely in their favor. TYLOO have gone through the connector control. Their smokes now just starting to fade on toilets as they make their way up close on short. Kaze, he's here, but he's got a player pushed all the way up on long, so all he has to worry about is short. And there's a pretty quick rotate for Alman as well, who's going to immediately come up after a flash is popped on short, but he's blinded Kaze, who now has to fall back. They're going to have to play retake on the site. That player on long about to be challenged, and with Zoking falling, this is a bit of a disaster, because this retake, even up against the MAC-10s, is going to be very hard to manage, and Summers managed to upgrade his weapon off the back of Zoking's death. They might save this.
Oh my god.
Why?
Attacker's gone through the smoke off the back of a flashbang. Slowly waiting on the other side. They've given up another kill. The time ticking low. The T's now have to scurry to try and hold on to this round. A potential throwaway as somebody goes down as well.
Come on, ViCi, let's go.
Have they actually got the bomb? It's going to be ridiculously close. You can see the teammate doesn't believe he's running for the hills, but they've got it. A millisecond left. And all that began because of such a risky play from TYLOO. I don't know if they thought their opponent was saving, but they went for a risky play.
No, stupid. Moronic. You take your pick of any synonyms, but not a risky. No.
I think that was 50-50.
Brain dead. That is the only word we can use there is brain dead. Advent almost lost the round by not defusing the bomb straight away as well. He got kind of lost. He thought it was in the smoke. when he just jumped over it, but that was legitimately, I think, just trying to make sure at this point in this tournament, I haven't said it before, but I'm pretty sure it's the first time I can hand on heart say that was the most brain dead play I've ever seen. Why would you push that? You've just picked up another AK. Time is ticking fairly low. I'm not even going to give him the excuse he thought they were saving. That was just stupid.
So Kings dropped the bomb.
I hope TYLOO lose.
I think you're the only one. I think there's many at this stage. Would create a nice storyline as well. Even still, they've got to be careful in this sort of round. The bomb's been retrieved. You see him crawling, it's because he's injured, not because he's taken up a different stance to try and take the shot. He hits it nonetheless. Summer's found Advent. Oh, ViCi, you do the hard work, you win an unwinnable retake. And now you've lost to what is Pistols once again. The TYLOO mantra. No round is unwinnable, no round is unlosable. And Summer versus Jam Young now comes down to a pretty important position for both sides. The CTs with not a huge amount of cash. The T's in a slightly better spot for wanting to really show what they've got on this T side. And well, all is forgiven, right, me?
God, no. I don't think I'll ever forgive TYLOO for what they made me watch.
But they've got better economy now. If anything, it was really smart to lose the last round.
Tactical. Oh, God. Yeah, I don't know. It comes back to the point that we've made multiple times about how TYLOO just do what TYLOO want to do sometimes. And I do imagine that exact scene now from the Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, like just attempting to understand. I'm gonna make a video of that little meme. Just attempting to understand what's going on in TYLOO's head.
If you haven't seen that film, don't.
Yeah, it's a good
Wasn't
piece
great.
of advice. The nuke thing was cool. With the fridge.
Yeah, but when you try and set up Shia LaBeouf to be the next Indiana Jones, don't get me wrong, I like Shia LaBeouf, but it don't work. It don't work.
And honestly, anybody is the next Indiana Jones is wrong. There is no
I don't know.
next
I reckon
Indiana
if it was Idris Elba, I'd watch.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! I want Idris Elba as James Bond, dude.
Yep.
Apparently, he's too urban. Was the quote that he was given.
Oh.
He would be badass. Like he's clean.
Yeah, I think Luther is genuinely one of my favorite TV series of all time. If you haven't watched it, that is a superb piece of television.
I didn't know he was in that.
Main character.
Oh wow, okay.
Not Lucifer. Luther.
Oh right, yeah. Lucifer.
You're thinking about the thing
of.
about the devil. No,
Yeah,
that's not
right.
him.
Okay.
Luther is like a gritty detective show.
Oh, okay. I'll give it a watch.
It's by the BBC, and it is fantastic.
I've been watching Bosch recently. It's terrible. The writing is... I've 5 seasons in. The writing's pretty two-dimensional. Very obvious what's happening. It's sort of like a more basic Hawaii 5-0, but not set in Hawaii. But I keep watching it. Don't know why.
Yeah, watch Luther instead. I'm pretty sure it's on.
I'll give it a gander. But we've got our own show on here, Tom, for now. People can watch Luther to recover later on. We're watching ViCi and TYLOO. And ViCi... I don't know. I don't know which one's been worse. You know, I don't want to be negative, Tom. I don't want to be that guy, but I'm being hurt. My heart's being broken on a... not even a daily basis, on an hourly basis at this point.
Is this a Miley Cyrus song? It's unreleased.
I just wrote it for sent it to her in fan mail.
Oh god. Where are you going, Jam Young? Where are you going? Makes me feel uneasy. I don't want to see him push the smoke. I'm hoping he's just waiting in case they were going to rush the smoke. But it's still dangerous. A Couple of bullets spammed through. Zoking's position has almost allowed for them to stack up in towards that B site. He's not going to be expected. He gets both? Okay. I thought Attacker would get that trade easily, but instead, they're now just going to have to force this push in onto the B site. Jam Young in position. He's left blind, but there hasn't been a kill come onto him yet, so he's going to be able to reposition, take another fight, and they are getting slaughtered. Somebody now the only one remaining. 1v4, an ace needed. No chance.
No chance at all. And the thing is, he kind of has to go for this, right? Commit in, try and get something done at least to chip away at that CT economy. Time's now run out. He doesn't want to die after time. He's running for the hills. Well, not even. He's just sticking around a little bit. You know, right there, having to save over the weapon. He was definitely scared. He was sat there. He was saying to his teammates, dying so early, I don't like your little games. I don't like your tilted stage. You know what I mean? Like the role that they made him play of the fool. No, he didn't like that. Those are Taylor Swift lyrics, by the way, not Miley Cyrus.
Same person, to be honest.
That's not true, Tom.
Taylor Swift was the one with the big wrecking ball, right? Well, Attacker down to 4 HP.
Go kill Superman.
What if I could? I think he's a trash superhero. Probably talking of lazy writing, I think he's up there. But
I mean, faster than the Flash, laser eyes, invulnerable. Like it's
big green rock. Here we go though. Kaze, he's managed to find a kill back. Somebody just runs through the smoke. This is starting to get scary now. TYLOO. Oh, it's almost enough. And in fact, Danking's still there looking for the trade, but he'll get caught out by Kaze as well. And okay. Well, if Summer runs all the way to the bomb now and then rushes into the B site, I think he might just about have enough time to make this full rotation. I guess he was expecting them to do a better job. That's the only real explanation as to why he's so far away, is he expected somebody to run through that smoke, get a kill, Danking to pick off another one, and then he would be like the sneaky lurk man in the backgrounds. But instead, it's just on the other side of the map as his team push into a site. I think that's one of the problems we see quite often with TYLOO, is they like to leave a lurker in spots where you can't really afford one. Like, if you are losing around heavily or have a man disadvantage, if you're playing a lurker, you're basically expecting one of your players at least to trade 2 for 1, which, I don't know. I think against maybe lesser teams you can expect that. Against ViCi, well, at least most of the time I'd hope not.
Can't really do a better job, though, can you, when Kaze is just absolutely wrecking face the way he was in this round. I like the little bait that they had down towards the B side as well, where he was just posted up. They basically used a player who just gotten a kill. They're going to dance around, make some noise, so that he could just easily pick them off from above in heaven. At 5-5, obviously TYLOO already in a good position on the T side, but they're going to look for a little bit more. This round ain't looking too fly. They've only got pistols. They're going to save up for the next. A bomb plant would severely help them out. And Summers invested pretty heavily into utility on this one, actually. Eating down his economy quite a bit. You can see he was originally playing support in towards the A site, but now he's come down through connector, and they're going to look for that position into the B site. This utility's going out. His nade, his molly, his smoke. The molly actually yet to leave him. There it goes eventually. He was in the open. That man could have taken him. Luckily, he didn't have his gun out. I mean, we're just running the clock down here on the TYLOO side. I expected this to be a faster play, but looks like they're trying to get some picks before they start to rush on forward.
I love how Danking's just been spamming the same spot in the wood for like a good 30 seconds. He's like, maybe he's there now. Or now. Or now. How about now? Maybe now? Oh, maybe now. No, they're not going to stand there. If they did, I'd be very angry. Nice shot from Summer, though. This is it's Another one of those rounds where TYLOO have one rifle and some pistols, and Orman, every time, it's always Orman. Why always Orman? He peeks out and just hands away a second kill. This was a 4v4, and it's starting to slip away. Danking's hit one with the deagle. It shouldn't be this predictable. I'm gonna stop talking. I can't, because like normally when you say like, oh, you know, Mitch, this is looking like a potential TYLOO round. You know, they got some pistols and they got an AK, but and then they slam them into the ground. And you go, oh, silly me. But every time, it's predictable chaos.
Tell me again how Advent's the worst player in this team, because Alman's playing silly. He's not hitting shots. He got 0 headshots on the previous map. I don't know.
He must be bottom as well, right? Because Advent, he must have more than 2 kills. Yeah,
Advent's played really well.
I just don't know. So there's the okay, that forgivable. Like
why? I wonder if they've pushed.
The funny thing is as well, that looks like a jump peak, right? But like, yeah, he's not jumping over anything.
I think what he was trying to do, if I want to give him an excuse, is that he thought maybe there was an op posted up. Well, why? Like, what was the point of going, oh, I baited you into shooting? Like, it wouldn't make a difference. And there wasn't. And he had a smoke in his hand, so he wanted to smoke short. Did he think they just weren't watching short? I don't know. It was just
rounds.
Silly.
2 rounds so far that they have lost to what is majority pistols. We shall keep the counter going. And for anybody who's tallying it up in chat, we're up to 2. These don't include pistol rounds, by the way, and by that I mean the first round of the half. This round, though, is looking great. This is looking fantastic for them. Somebody has other ideas. He trades one back, a second as well, and Danking's caught one more, leaving this in an even scenario. Zoking, he swings and falls at the same time and leaves Kaze. He is the man pretty much known for the clutch at this point. He's had to make a fair few of them. And even with a clutch that involved him acing around, they didn't win the last map. Danking, you absolute lunatic.
Well, he's known for being aggressive. And it's transported over to the game as well, evidently.
They've not just 2-0'd this.
I wish, Tom. I do genuinely and truly wish.
Kaze, 1v1. He's going to win it as well. He wins it as well. 6-6. He has evened up the scoreline once again. For TYLOO, they have enough money to buy into the next round. It's not going to be particularly good. 2 of their players are probably going to have pistols, so those players are probably going to get the majority of the kills. For the CT side, their economy is also trash. So I'd actually like to see TYLOO force into this one. I think this time it makes a lot of sense. What doesn't make a lot of sense is this. That's very well timed. Like, PGO didn't intentionally line that up with my wording, but it did match very, very well.
I don't get it. It's a number of times now. So we've got a counter for the pistol plays of TYLOO. Can we also get a counter of the rounds that they just completely throw away by pushing smokes? Because we're at 2 already. Attacker and Danking have now both been culprits.
Oh, we can have a tally of which will be higher. I suppose that will also probably define who wins the map.
But Attacker has been way worse than... I mean, the one from Danking is semi, like he has to go for the flank up to help his teammate who's going to plant on the A site, whereas Attacker went, haha, I'm going to push them.
I'm not sure if this round would count if they win it, because it's technically only 1 player with a pistol. Oh, we've had a close call on the ladder. An SMG picked up for Summer. They've evened things up in the early stages of this round. Both teams' economy on the brink.
Sorry,
Danking,
did
watching the train go
push
past.
Through Monster by himself through a smoke? Is he mental? Look, there's a skull outside Monster. Did he push Monster?
Outside Monster, that's Connector.
No. That's the blue one. Look at Monster.
Oh yeah.
Slowly pushed Monster.
Yeah, he did.
I didn't even catch that. Why did he push Monster?
Let's
Is he
move
mental?
On. Let's move on. It is execution coming in onto the site. Jam Young's in a good position. Flashbang is perfect, but he doesn't get anything done. It's Advent, in fact, to find the only kill on this site. And while it is straight back into the favor of TYLOO, they don't give their opponents a moment's notice before breaking back. I don't think we can count that as a pistol round, but it was one where they definitely had pieces missing. And now, well, ViCi have a decision to make. It's
okay.
Get nothing there.
No, that's the wrong one. That's the actual push we saw.
Yeah, no, that's the actual push. That had nothing to do
I
with...
thought, because I was like, oh, well, there were lots of players with him. Then I was like, no, that was the end of the round.
No, that
he pushed at the very start.
We didn't see that, but you know.
Yeah, I don't know why he did that.
I don't think we want to see that.
I don't think I want to, no.
Right, pistols in connector. It's where they're at their deadliest. Now, no utility has been used here whatsoever by TYLOO.
Oh!
And the first shot was so nice. Unfortunately, he doesn't manage to connect any others, otherwise slowly would be dead here. Somebody, he's going to get caught pushing into Monster as well. Jam Young. Okay, I don't know how he gets away with anything there. This is a very peculiar round, to say the least. Kaze's AWP. It basically is an AWP. That's what I was going to say. I buffled my words a little bit, but his scout is now an AWP because they're so low. We got there in the end. Unfortunately, by the time I got there, he had died of old age. And well, Advent now left in a clutch. I wouldn't normally be a believer, but honestly, he's been one of the best players in this server. I don't even think it's arguable. He's 11-8 at the moment. Been slightly more consistent. He gets the opening pick as well, starting things off with him facing off against Summer. Now, this has been a back and forth. He doesn't have a kit, though. So he does have to get moving relatively quick. And Summer is just homed in on the angle. A bit of a peculiar angle. He looks away just at the moment that the push looks to come in. And Advent has decided that he doesn't have time. So he's going to go pick up, I assume, an AK. Maybe try and kill off the AWP of Summer in the process, which is exactly what he'll do. And he's going to go and get the AWP. I was going to say it's going to get pushed towards him, but I guess he wanted to play a little game of catch the AWP.
That would have been cool if he caught it in midair. Style points for sure. I think a better counter at this point, Tom, would be how many of the TYLOO players are going to die by themselves untraded?
No, it doesn't go high enough.
We don't have enough
that one, we don't have the facilities for that.
We'll have to use the Greek alphabet as well.
The PGL can run a 4K YouTube stream, which you should go watch, by the way. It looks incredible. YouTube, yeah. But they don't have the facility to count how many times TYLOO are going to get a solo death untraded. Slowly, though, that was pretty tasty. A double entry into the B side definitely seems like these fast plays work out for them.
That's certainly fast.
Of course he goes back. Oh, I love to hate him. It really is one of those relationships. He is the Marmite of Counter-Strike.
Is Marmite flammable? So I want to say, like, it's disgusting, but it's deadly.
That doesn't quite work, though, because those are both bad things.
Cover me in Marmite and set me on fire. It would feel better than watching some of these games. 9-6, yeah. TYLOO, they've come out on top. And honestly, like, the thing that the thing that worries me, Tom, is that TYLOO are just going to get set in. Again, it's the practice sloppily, play sloppily. And I feel like they're messing about at times. When they go to EU, like we were saying earlier, you know, I'd love to see them play versus the likes of a Heroic and just get absolutely bodied. Because these kind of things don't work.
That went through smoke.
Apparently it wasn't. But yeah, like, the way they play doesn't work at a top level internationally. It's what's holding them back.
At a minimum, they could have won this at an 11-4 if they didn't lose the round where they decided to run through their own smoke and the round where Dan King walks through a smoke and gets shot in a 2v1 where the bomb was down in his favor.
Yeah, and let's all sit here and laugh and have some fun when they're playing group stage games and they're messing about. But when you do this versus the second best team in the region,
this is to get an advantage in the final as well.
Yeah,
like this is a huge opportunity. Like I'm sure ViCi would probably trade their soul to get that at this point. They go in with a disadvantage every single time. Jamyoung managed to get himself an opener. Kaze alongside him, and now somebody looking to try and start off this retake with a bang. Not going too well. Danking's been tagged low as well, and it seems like they're almost playing ring around the rosy at this point, with only 2 players now remaining for TYLOO. Make that just 1, and Danking's so low, he has no chance. Great pistol round from ViCi. And I believe that is now the pistols being perfectly split down the middle, which is nice. Both teams winning both pistols on their opponent's map choice, and then when it comes down to the level playing field, they both win it on the T side.
Yeah, what worries me is that whole, like, when they come back to international Counter-Strike, because TYLOO were already bad. Like, by that I mean they already played this ludicrous style when we were in normal times. Now that they've been stuck in their region, not having to play the best teams in the world for months and months and months, when it eventually comes to, let's be real, the major where they'll probably be playing based on how this universe works, like, I'm scared for the TYLOO that's going to show up there. It's like, oh, well, I jumped through a smoke with a Mach 10 versus Vitality. What you mean it didn't work? Why?
Well, the thing is, they'll probably upset someone. That's
100%.
the problem. They'll upset someone at the beginning, and then people will actually pay attention, and then they'll get banged. Like, that's how it is every single time.
Who's been playing nothing
Blair
but
will make a tweet about how it's finally the time of Asian Counter-Strike, and then 2 days later, you'll see him crying in the corner. It's how it works every single time. I'm pretty sure he's been in the same circle of life for the last 5 years. 7 years. He just corrected me.
Oh.
Summers started this off. Somebody looking for a little bit more. He should be rounded on, but actually he has a teammate watching his back. Kaze is going to be able to trade things, but Summers now rotated in. I will count this as a pistol win if they manage to win this force buy. And actually a reposition of Summer is nice. He's not going to be able to do too much. Attacker with the Deagle, however, has brought this to a winnable position for Slowly. He's going to be on the wraparound. He has a kit. He's going to try and get in nice and quick so that there's no real retreat available for Orman. Smoke going to be going down. Orman having a pretty poor performance, but he'll win this round. And at least that's something for him to take home. 8-9, TYLOO not going to be able to invest too much. Maybe a few pistols into this one. Then they'll be having the big boy buy in the next.
I mean, the money's about even. They could have went in for a force buy on this, and I wouldn't have been completely against it. I mean, what, one more player can afford an AK? They're even going Galils and SMGs. It's not fantastic by any means. I still think they've made the right call, but considering it's TYLOO, I was half expecting a force buy. Yeah, it is my concern. You know, these guys, if you don't have that respect for the second best team in your region, the next one to you, what are you supposed to suddenly have an idea how to play structured Counter-Strike versus the best teams? No, you're going to play the same. And we know from history that's just not going to work. It's what holds TYLOO back from being a top team in the world.
Oh no, please, no, I can't cope with any more of this. They're 2 men to the good. Thank you, Jamyoung. He's bringing this back. Hashtag biascaster. Put it in the chat. I don't care. There's too many of these rounds at this point. Down to at least 3 players versus 3. Danking, he's getting tagged up. The spam coming through. They're rectifying this. They're bringing it back. Kaze and Jamyoung, the saviors of Asian Counter-Strike, leaving it all onto somebody. Mr. Marmite himself.
Mr. Marmite. All right. Looks like he's going to be saving over his CZ, not feeling the 1v3. ViCi, thankfully, as you said, you know, they've pulled it back. A combination of Kaze and Jamyoung to put us into that 9-9 position. It is just scary how much damage, though, they can do over on the TYLOO side. You know, we see those pistols come through and we immediately, alarm bells are ringing. They're almost scarier with those pistols than they are with rifles.
I don't know why. There's a part of me that just imagines that somebody right now is like, oh, look, a flower. And has just got distracted and is just staring at it in the wood. Like, if he wasn't actually planning to save. It's just like a child that went to do something and he's like, wow, look at this on the wall.
It's like Attacker when they were on that site. They just go, their CT's like, okay, I'll get him.
Don't push the smoke. Don't push the smoke. Don't push the smoke. Don't push the smoke. I'm pushing the smoke. I'm pushing the smoke. I'm pushing. Ah, damn it.
That's like you say 10 times, don't push the smoke, but then when you stop saying it, he's like, oh, I can push the smoke now.
No, he just forgets the word don't. It's like, don't push the smoke. Don't push the smoke. Push the smoke. And then goes through it. Too many words, you know?
Yeah.
We have a purchase up, but it isn't going to trade or change the fact that Summer has gone down very early in this round, caught out with Dan King still lurking behind. And he expects the push to be coming in from Connector. He's got to be careful of the late play in through mid. The bomb currently down outside Monster, and actually it's more Kaze's position that interests me at the moment. He's sneaking his way through long. It seems like Dan King is potentially aware of this. He looks away. Timing could be everything. Kaze goes for the pre-fire shots. It's a little bit of an awkward battle, to say the least. It's not the prettiest thing we've ever seen, but it's Jam Young to eventually come and pick up the pieces. They're actually not going to retrieve the AWP, rather keep the Galil. Maybe not spotting it on the ground. Somebody in a good position. First kill goes his way. Second won't, though. Jam Young continuing his reign of terror. He hasn't had any of those showstopper matches, or many of them at least, over the last couple of days. This is looking like he might have finally stepped up at the right time.
I don't want to believe anymore, Tom. I don't want to do it. Oh, but I'm starting to slip into it. I'm starting to see ViCi taking that crown, making the predictions come through, the 2-1 that I probably didn't agree with if I actually thought about it. But on the spot, Paddy O'Shea came through. He whispered it in my ear. He guided my hand. Now I just need to send him over to China to guide ViCi's hand to not wrap around their own necks and squeeze. Because so far, they've been in that position where every single time they've got a chance to close out versus TYLOO, they choke. And it's not even like the normal chokes where they make bad choices, you know, in terms of their executes, or they whiff shots, you know, the nerves set in. It's just basic things like 2v1s that they peak one at a time. I don't want to see that, Tom. I don't want to see it anymore. I've seen enough. This round, at least, we'll see very, very little for TYLOO. And on the back of that, I'm hoping 11 going over towards ViCi. You've got plenty of cash built up and an opportunity to build up that little bit more. This could be a fantastic start for them towards the end goal of winning Overpass.
Well, it's not going to be much of an investment for TYLOO in this round. Doesn't mean they won't win it, but they didn't invest as much. CT side have stacked up onto this B site, and while push coming almost solely through long, they have a good chance to get a free path in. Nice shot from Zoking to start things off. Dan King down and out, and now the push coming in onto the A side. Somebody's got him very quickly. He's got his trusty MP9 in hand. Doesn't really have the time to reload, and the spam shots won't net anything. A little bit of extra damage onto Zoking. The push coming through from Advent. The spam through does so much damage, but slowly is able to trade him out eventually. A lot of damage done with the counter spray, but ultimately still a rough round. Slowly gets another one. It's slowly slipping, in fact, for his opponents. He's going to be caught in the open. Zoking with the trade. Summer still in a decent spot, and with the bomb on the deck, ViCi almost have to kill him to win this round. Currently lurking in the smoke, going to try and make the cross to the side. I don't know if he was just spotted. Looking, potentially seen him, but he hadn't. And now it comes down to the 1v1. Orman a little bit further behind the rest of the pack. And some are starting to question whether or not he's lurking in from behind. So many angles to check, to clear, and hasn't seen anything. So we'll just round his way back up the stairs to bank. And in fact, I think he might have this perfectly played. Orman eventually going to have to cross back towards the site to get the bomb down. The truck, probably the safest position to take. And Summer playing this very smart. In fact, but he's been spotted. The jump almost gives away his life, but in fact just hands info on to Orman. And he's going to land the final shot as well. ViCi just about get through the round. Another clutch for Orman. A couple of impactful kills here and there. I'm sure ViCi are going to be very happy with that.
I can't imagine they'll be upset about it. I mean, look, obviously the fact that the round got so close is a little bit disturbing. TYLOO pulled that one right back into a 1v1 from what was, I think, a 4v2 at one point. But really well played in that clutch situation by Alman. He was careful moving to the site. He looked down towards the dumpster, cleared it out, realized at that point he can plant on truck. And the jump, it was a risk, but one that paid off tenfold with the info he got. And then the balls to just swing out, crouch peeking. Oh, no! How's he done that? He's just double sprayed them down in water. Well, taking a good situation from the previous round and just spitting on ViCi right afterwards. That's a disgusting start.
ViCi trying to find their safe space. It was definitely not towards B. In fact, I think their A site takes have definitely been the better of the two, the polar opposite of TYLOO, which, if anything, makes more sense. I feel like you have to be quite strategical, have good executes to take the A site. And B, normally you just run in like a headless chicken and see if you can headshot someone on the way. Does kind of fit. But slowly, he's trying to do that also on the CT side, finding 2 kills to start, and with 38 seconds on the clock, they're making their way back towards this A site. As said, it's been the better of the two. They managed to shut down Danking on the regular. That doesn't mean they'll win this time, although he's only going to land the tag. A second missed shot. He's starting to get caught out, but he has Summer to support. Orp still out, but he will fall eventually. 20 seconds. They need to clear this man instantly, and Zoking can't land the headshot this time. Kaze has no choice but to try and save, but there's already somebody waiting for him. Oh, yeah, literally somebody waiting for him. That's the first time I think that's lined up.
There you go. Someone, somebody, and somehow TYLOO, they come out 11-10. Massive play down towards water by Slowly. I don't know how he got that double kill. That spray was miraculous. And for ViCi, it's a little bit upsetting to lose one like that, but I think you can chalk it up to just a big individual play by TYLOO that put you straight away into a 2-man disadvantage, which is around that most of the time you're gonna win, you're gonna lose, right? 1-man disadvantages, it's something like 27-26% of the time you'll end up converting those. So 2-man is even more so unreliable. Now I want to see something big from ViCi here, because this is their attacker. Don't push that smoke, you lunatic. He's up one. They walked past him in the tunnel. Oh, this is just insane. He got away with a kill. His teammate got another off the assist. And this is done and dusted, more or less. It's all just down to Kaze. He's been tickled up by a nade. He's got 4 opponents to take out. Got an ace clutch this them all. He's going to spread to him, I'm pretty sure.
No.
Oh, he's safe,
good.
maybe.
He's good.
Well,
yeah, he's dead.
Oh, man.
So what's it? Left a bit. Ah, too far.
Attacker there, though, Tom. What in the world was he thinking? When are you ever going to get more than one kill?
We saw Jam Young doing that as well, but like I don't think I've seen someone like get that far. Like normally you hear the steps and you start shooting through the smoke, but
yeah,
he wanted to look into the whites of his opponent's eyes before letting them fall
give him
to
a
the
jump
depths.
scare as they come out of the smoke.
Just
Surprise!
not even that. Just as they go past, he goes. That would scare me far more than someone shouting surprise. If there was just a whisper in my ear. Nice shot from Danking. It's only pistols this time, but this time he's hitting all the flicks. Will get, or should get rounded on, but somebody defending off his AWP buddy. And while Orman, he has managed to retrieve a rifle. He doesn't have any armor, but somehow he's getting a decent amount done. He spotted at least one more player on this A site, but he's going to try and bait them into a rotation. Oh, this position's risky. He spots somebody, though, and he finds the shot onto him as well. This man had no armor. I don't even think he had a gun when he started this round. And now he's looking to try and bring home the clutch. A long rotation all the way back to the B site. Will we see Attacker actually take the bait? He's going to go in that direction, but the amount of time it's actually going to take Orman to get here, he might even start rotating back, thinking if he went through the connector. Although he wouldn't have heard the door open, so if it was initially closed, that could be everything. Orman runs out with the bomb in hand. He really did think the Attacker would still have stayed on the other side of the map. It was a very long time. Is he going to go back again? Oh. Around the world with Orman.
I wanted to start singing the Around the World by Daft Punk, but...
He doesn't have a gun. He dropped his gun for nothing. And now he's found it all.
It's alright. All planned, all intentional. He's going to get the plant in. Dealing with the Attacker afterwards going to be tough. He's been... Oh my god, that was such a shot. He's won out the clutch. He's picked up the op. He's going to go for a spray on him as well, is he? Where are we going with this Attacker? Alright, he's just giving him a little rub. Fair enough.
It's a bit of a weird celebration. Normally you want some fireworks or explosions, but you just sort of sat on him. This round was still very good in isolation. A 1v4 from Orman attempted, and although it was almost a little bit comical towards the end, he does a very good job, and he's made things interesting. At least a bomb plant, a big boost to the economy. Ooh, I like this. It's very nice. Have we had this comparison before? If we have, I've been blind to it, but a very even sort of setting between the two. Even direct duels as well.
Yeah, we got this one up a little bit. ADR, you just take a look at somebody's... Your favorite player, Tom. Well, he's delivering a good performance, isn't he?
I think that's... I know this sounds like a ridiculous thing to say, but that's TYLOO in a nutshell. I genuinely think that he starts trying on the third map. Because it seems to happen way too often where he has a really average series and then the third map he's the best player in the server.
Yeah.
And like, it happens enough that, like, if it was like a few times, I'd be like, I just had a bad couple of maps and realized him. But it genuinely just seems like every series we have, it's like, oh, they're really average. And then they win really easily. And it's like, and somebody's now top fragging it. It's just, I don't understand. I don't know if he just has that, like, some sort of mentality where he's like, oh, I've got to play properly now, or I've got to stop being more, because he's still aggressive in these rounds. It's peculiar. I guess if you're a positive person, an optimist, you can say he steps up when it matters. Unfortunately, I have lived through enough TYLOO, which I'm not that optimist.
Yeah, I can understand why. That's for sure.
I survived TYLOO.
Oh my god. Well, you know what? I want to believe in ViCi, Tom. I really do. And I'm wondering, you know, I can see Blair with no top on right now. Every time I close my eyes. Just handling both of his jerseys. One in each hand. Dual wielding. And he's waiting to see which one he's going to put on. And whilst we're all secretly hoping it's neither, we know it's going to be whichever one wins.
I want him to put on a hot side jersey because it doesn't exist. But there we go. Danking about to be pressured from behind. Oh, that linked in weirdly. And Zoking is just slamming them back into the ground. 2 kills, entries on the site, and the remaining 2 players are a little bit further away than we would have liked. Somebody's managed to wrap around. He gets the first. He corrects his spray. He's bringing this back once again. Mr. Tryhard's in the server. He will fall to Kaze, leaving slowly with a chance. A slim one, as both players head towards long. I wouldn't be surprised if one of them looked to try and wrap around to reposition onto the bomb, but realistically, Slowly's got plenty of angles to try and place, and this gives them a lot of refrag potential. He'll have to pretty much wide swing out to kill either one of these players, and Kaze's not even going to give that scenario a chance. 12 to 12, it's going the distance once again, it seems, and the CT side money, it's not fantastic.
Onwards into the fray. ViCi. I feel like they're teasing us, myself and Blah. They're giving us that potential 2-1, but I don't know if they'll deliver, Tom. It's like when you go on your first date, you know? You're really scared they just won't turn up. You've arranged a lovely bike ride, but at the end of the day, you end up cycling by yourself.
Sounds fun, to be honest.
It does, doesn't it?
King, another entry for him. He's had a fair few in this game, looking like one of the players to beat, if I'm being honest. Well, bomb not going to be planted. An interesting position to choose from Kaze. It might have just let things slip away as the peak's going to be coming back in. Zoking, he's trying his damnedest. He's got 3 kills, 4 kills in this round, and it's only Attacker standing in his way.
Oh.
What?
Oh. What? He's gone through the smoke. He's taking down the bomb as well. He's running away, creating a little bit of space, a little bit of distance. He tags up Zoking, but not enough. 12 HP and Zoking's running, but Attacker, oh, this man's brain's too big. He realizes what's going on. He was going to fake run up connector, but he's going to commit to it now.
What?
Moving over towards the A site. Why does he even think it's A? It's so, it's smart. I don't know why Zoking's taking so long, but he's got the bomb down. He's made it to dumpster. He's looking for this, but he's going to be worried about the flank up from B as well. So many angles to consider, whereas Attacker has the info. He knows the player's somewhere in front of him. At least that's a large sector clear. Oh, excuse me. I'm choking almost as hard as ViCi did in some of the other games. As Attacker creeps down behind them. 17 seconds left. He's got to get a move on. Oh. And Zoking just about wins it. An ace from my man, Zo. He is the king. And he's managed to find the lead for ViCi at last.
Entry fragged this round.
Uh-huh.
He was on 20 HP when he got his second kill. Zoking. In a very good position. Gonna get a nice little drone. I think he deserves it. Also the photographer. We seem to have a lot of photographers. Then again, I suppose nowadays everybody thinks they're a photographer.
Well, I have some great pictures from our trip in Ukraine, Tom.
Look, I took a picture with my iPhone.
One of a giant red building, slightly obscured by your gigantic shiny head. Oh, you can make out that there's a building behind you. That's the important thing. It's a great thing about having Tom with you. You know, you don't need a flash on your camera. You just get Tom to stand in the sunlight and it reflects. It's like a disco ball.
Fortunately, you need a stepladder to be able to take a picture of Banks. Oh, Danking is going to get the opener. This round for TYLOO is one where they don't have much of an investment at all, and thus it's terrifying if you're a ViCi on the other side. They've again got themselves into an advantageous position, but they had this on train and threw it all away to lose the map 16-14. They had a round just like this and let it slip. Have to hope the same doesn't happen again. Attacker in a good spot, one that can be hard to clear. He's going to go peeking in. The shot's not quite connecting, but he might get another chance. They tried to peek him together, but in fact he's dropped the bomb, looking for more, but eventually it's left all onto somebody. He's flanking through long as well. The Caesar definitely isn't too viable from this sort of range, as you can see. He does manage to get away with a kill nonetheless, and they're going to face him. I don't know why they're going to face him, but Advent gets it through in the end. It's not pretty. It's not enjoyable. But it is a round for ViCi.
If ViCi win this, I would love for PGL to have graphics of the predictions we made in this game. Of just our faces, what we predicted, a tick under each one. Not a tick for Tom and Dinko.
The funny thing is that at this point you think I would care.
Yes, I think I
would like ViCi to win. In all honesty, like the way TYLOO plays does upset me. But at the same time, if I'm going off who I think will win, I'm always going to pick them because they won 13 in a row. It is a constant reminder that they have been the best team in this region for a ridiculous amount of time with different rosters. Until they're down, they're not out. You don't want to count your chickens before they hatch, Mitch. It is still not over yet, but Zoking's giving it a damn good try. He's found another entry. It's Jam Young following up behind him. This deadly duo have been fantastic, and Danking, he's out of this round. He should just be looking to save his AWP. You'd have to be delusional to think he could bring this one back, and occasionally he is. He is just going to fall back this time. ViCi, they're going to hit 15 again. Now, bear in mind, they got to 15-10 on the first map, and that went to overtime, so it's not truly over, but at the same time, the money really isn't good for TYLOO. This AWP saves everything, and while Advent is still on the hunt, he wants to try and remove this weapon and make their way into that grand final. It would make things ever so exciting. The other terrifying thing for Tiger as well is they probably sat there for the last few hours preparing for their face-off versus ViCi. I doubt they'd expect to meet TYLOO, although I imagine the whole tournament has been preparing to face TYLOO, so I think they'll be ready for it.
Yeah, you would definitely hope so. But this could be TYLOO getting sent down there to play that game. And I like the fact the second guy threw checks. That most infuriating thing ever if you're slowly. Obviously, he wasn't watching necessarily, but when the first guy goes by and the second clears it, you're like, come on, dude. Why are you checking that? Let me get the play. But this is it, 15-12. ViCi, they've had so much success entering towards B. This time, though, they're going to commit towards heavier connector control, even leaving the bomb in the back of Con, and sending a player up towards Playground to try and harass that mid presence from Danking. Utility going over, the nades are perfect. Oh my god, slowly 1 HP as he swings into Alman, who quickly takes him down just as the smoke blooms. A man advantage now for ViCi as they look to take down TYLOO for the first time in a long time in best of threes and knock TYLOO to a thing I don't even think they know exists called the lower bracket.
Have the bomb?
No. The bomb is tucked in the left corner of connector. So he's just backed off, no info.
I think he walked past it. No, I think he walked through the back of connector. So I think he walked past the bomb without realizing.
Oh, look at Kaze and Danking. Danking's walking back down connector. Kaze doesn't realize he's just walked behind him. That means that Alman's going to die. He has no way of knowing that Danking is there. That's a tragedy. This could have been it. But now the flank comes in from Kaze.
He doesn't know either.
Is Danking going to watch it? Kaze coming up behind. Switch to Kaze. Oh, no. He's dead. Danking's going to get wrecked. An easy kill by Kaze. The bomb to be retrieved. The rush. Oh, then the peek from somebody who takes down Jam Young, who's low. It's a back and forth fight, a jumble, a death match, if you will. And Kaze, well, he gets to the site. He can safely plant for bank, and he knows it. He suspects this play to be coming up through short, and it's all down to somebody to keep TYLOO alive. He has no idea where Kaze is. He's so low.
It's so close.
Just about. One bullet, two maybe. Kaze could have done it with a quick headshot, but he whiffed. And with that 15-13, Tom. Oh. The road to overtime begins.
I think it already began last round. Oh my god. There were so many moments where it looked like it was going to swing in either team's favor. Danking. Like, I genuinely think he walked through the back of connector and then walked past the bomb, killed someone, and then walked out the top of the stairs. Either that or I just completely misread the map, which is also very much possible. But then, well, he goes back in again, walking past another opponent. It all could have been saved just by that exact play. There's still another couple of chances, but that's got to take the wind out of the sails of ViCi Gaming. I'm looking at you, ZoKing. You've been fantastic on the entries into this B site so far. I think throwing out a few flashbangs into middle, maybe to try and hold the rotation back for now. And in fact, we have seen a slight rotate away from somebody. He's not made the commitment just yet, and they are going to continue to hold 3 players within this site. Slowly, this is an audacious angle to say the least, and again, it's ZoKing starting things off as they look to push into this site. Attacker only as an SMG. He's still going to try and face them. Somebody has found another kill, a second for him once again. But has he done enough? There's still multiple players pushing into this site. ZoKing may be down, Jamyoung too, but Kaze still standing in an after-plant position ensues for ViCi Gaming. They just need to wait out this time. 30-odd seconds, it's not that long, but Summers found another. Kaze quickly trades back. It's going to be another scrape of a round to see who gets it over the line. While this 2v2 is close, Danking's found another. It's left all on to Orman. He's trying to hold on. He's not going to be able to do it. The kit retrieved. TYLOO have a 14th, Mitch. It's going down to the wire.
15 to 14, and look what
Blair's
that's
wearing
done.
both. He's wearing both shirts right now. He's got one arm in one shirt, one arm in the other one, trying to see if he can somehow maybe stitch them together. That's the thing. Maybe that's what he should do. Just stitch both shirts together and just accept his fate. See, Captain Asia over here.
Blaise just told us that he's actually nicked a glory hole in his ceiling, so no. he wouldn't be he wouldn't be sat there nude.
Well, that's who's paying for it.
Well, 15 to 14. Unless some dollars come through that hole to pay for the private show, I think he's still got his TYLOO jersey on because he knows how this one goes. Realistically, TYLOO, they always come back. They always win, no matter how many times we believe in ViCi. Our hearts get broken. The choke comes through, and it's already ensued. Can they make it happen? I know Kaze is going to be kicking himself if this comes to an OT. He had that 1v1 and lost the aim duel that really cost them potentially this tournament. It's the upper bracket, right? One map advantage that could have been theirs and still could be. But one last chance to get there, Tom, and it begins now. Look at TYLOO, though. They have heavy rotated to the A site. A 4th player coming up as ViCi look to push it. This could be devastating on the back of the aggression that somebody's got on B, clearing out the entire half of the map.
Oh, the flashbang setup. Not the start that Orman was hoping for. The Tech-9 playing long? Why is that decision? How's the pistol expected to get that far? Why is there no deep smoke if he's going to do that? ZoKing again, another entry. This man is trying his damnedest to get them through this game, but now the flank comes in from somebody. Kaze with a headshot, a second even. And now ZoKing trying to finish it, but he can't. It's another 1v1. I think that was 3 in a row that were lost. Oh, he's got the ViCi shirt on. He switched back. I love that. I love the fact that you could see him literally grinding his teeth and nerves. That is beautiful.
I'm just glad that we couldn't see where his hands were. 15 to 15.
But that's
ViCi.
why we didn't switch to Dinko's cam.
Why is there a milk fountain in the...
Oh, no.
So,
too much.
15 to 15. Danking
Ooh.
opens it up onto ZoKing. ViCi, they're kicking themselves. They almost had it. And now they've lost the opening duel to start out the overtime. Alman almost dies as well. And Alman does die because he's low HP and he swings into a spam through a smoke. Smart man, I must say. For ViCi, this round is falling to pieces. That would have been some shot. I was holding my breath for it.
They're hoping. Kaze does manage to get the kill on Danking eventually because he decides to re-peek, but you know, we're used to it by now. Summer's still in a fairly strong position. Has support from attacker as well, and the man advantage is ultimately still theirs. His teammate goes down. Summer actually just jumps for joy as his teammate falls. More frags for me, I suppose. They still don't know he's there. He jumped in the air. He couldn't have made it more obvious of his position, and slowly he's now cleared off another. It's left to Kaze to try and clutch out this round. He's going to get double dinked up as he tries to retreat. It's all but over. 16 on the board now for TYLOO. Another round in their pocket. The streak continues. What was that scoreline? That was, what, 15-12?
15-12, yeah.
So 3, not map, but series points taken by ViCi, and none of them going in their direction. It's the second overtime we see. They lost the last map 16-14. This would be devastating, but as said, we've been here before. We've been here many, many times before. Some would even say maybe even 13 times before. Well, they need to bring something here. Their B-side takes have been good. Jamyoung is going to open up. It's the aggression of slowly on short. It's become too predictable in what has been now 31 rounds. Surprisingly, round number 32, they expected it. Danking has also been caught in middle. The best chance we've seen in a while for a round to come up for ViCi, but somebody is still standing. And as said, in third maps, he seems to just be on another level. No one quite being able to match up to him. Summer's also looking for a duel in mid. He's got to be careful because his player already crossed. Kaze's going to try and play off of this. If he can get him behind, he can basically win this round for his team. He can end the one man on A, which he will, and now they have a path onto this bomb site with the bomb already in rotation. They were ready for that kill. They were communicating properly. And the CTs, well, it's kind of depressing, but they should probably keep it.
Do they don't need to save here, do they? Like,
well, attacker and Summer are both relatively low on cash.
Yeah, Summer is kind of low, actually, you're right.
And they need to buy an ult.
God, I hate this system. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. We're in overtime. 4 versus 2, and these guys have to save before the bomb's even gone down. Who thought 10K? I don't know, man. It's just people who don't understand the game making decisions blows my mind every single time. 10K OT, TYLOO are saving. ViCi trying to hunt them down. And okay, attacker's at least guaranteed himself the weapon, and over in spawn looks like it's going to be the same thing. So, TYLOO having to save those weapons, brought to you by the people who made the revolver a thing. Now, one more round to go in this half of OT, and ViCi, they want to push it up. They want to get it all the way up to 17. They are up against a pretty decent investment, though, obviously, thanks to that save. Just feels wrong. Full utility, off back in play. And Dankin got a little bit aggressive in that last round, and we've seen him be caught out a couple of times, or almost caught out. Kaze pushing past him obviously rings a bell. The fact that he hasn't had support is the big problem, and that's why this time you're going to see actually Danking not even being the one that's going for the peak, but Summer, who early went to mid to see if anyone's there, and Danking playing further back with the op. I much prefer this setup, Tom. There's far less risk to it.
Speaking of risk, somebody, again, it's the second round in a row, he's going to try and fight deep into Monster. In fact, he's going to bring a teammate with him. Attacker faces back in for more. They really are asking for trouble. Well, somebody eventually just has to try and get out of there, but never mind. He's going to go back again. Guess who's back? Back again. Well, his decision-making definitely is shady.
Compared to you and I, Tom, he sure is slim. Not saying much, though.
No.
We look like if the bananas in pajamas were eggs.
I think I have like the consistency of a bowling ball made of jelly. But either way, Orman is going to catch somebody pushing through the smoke, as you do. And the patience has paid off, but they don't have much time. 15 seconds to try and get this bomb onto the site. Good start for Slowly. A second as well. He's bought some time for the rotation, but the bomb should be planted. There's nothing they can do to deny it. And his nice attempt won't be enough. In fact, Summer, he wanted to try and stop the bomb. It would have won the round. Instead, it may have just lost them it. As Dan King has to try and save them here. Gonna get one with the CZ. Even that's a surprise. He's got to watch out for the player on shore. A decent crossfire and no chance. 17-16. 2 rounds on the T side. A few rounds ago, they only needed 1. And now they move on to the CT side, where they definitely have been the better of their sides, of course. And for TYLOO, they need all 3 rounds if they want to take it in the first OT.
I'm not getting too eager yet, Tom. I'm not getting too excited. There's still plenty of time for ViCi to eat an unpaired peeled grape and choke. Gotta make sure to peel your grapes.
Don't have time for that.
That flash. It's deep. Not catching anyone off, though, for allowing for the aggression. The boosts that are in play better be overrun. This player's coming down connector. They're down the bottom. They're right beneath it. If they had swung around, they would have had major gains off that. And in fact, it's still going to be the fight because you can see right in the corner is Zoking, and he's just caught off guard straight away. I don't get it. Alman just kind of walked away and left him there. I guess because they didn't have control over middle, but I don't know. That was odd. Why is Zoking staying there in the first place? I do feel like just from what we've seen of Alman, that was a situation where he was like, yeah, bro, let's do a crossfire. Yeah, see ya. Just like walked out. Like gets scared at the last minute, like, oh, I'm just gonna go to the site now. Zoking's like, but you left, don't leave me.
45 seconds, Mitch, for them to try and make this work. Kaze almost gets caught out from long. Trying to throw some counter nades. What did he just die through? I guess it was clipped by Summer from long. That's the only thing I can think of, but whatever it was, it's him gone from the round. I think Jam Young was considering a save, but clearly Advent has other ideas. They're still going for this attacker. Removes his head. And while this is going to have to be the save of that AWP, they want to make sure Kaze has that in the next round. Scoreline equalized. TYLOO make it to 17. And they're hunting. They've got no reason to worry. They've made their money. They've confirmed themselves for the next couple of rounds. And, oh, Jam Young, he's desperately trying to escape. There's a man on short. He doesn't even expect this. Who would? Who would expect anybody to be here? Somebody... Okay, we got there in the end.
At least. So, TYLOO 17-17, tied up 2 rounds to win, or 1 each for another overtime. 19 being the magic number. It's what we're looking for. 18-18 is just going to be 1 more OT. Dominating. I think ViCi, they got work to do. They were isolated on the CT side. They didn't have their control. Again, not really sure what was happening with the connector play. I think Zoking's going to have serious trust issues. Look, he's even requested that Alman go down to the other side after that. He's like, nope, I'll stay with Kaze. You get away from me. Stay away. At least Kaze won't abandon him the same way. And to start things off, again, it's a lack of information, a lack of aggressive play, but I understand it from ViCi, right? You're now at crunch time. You don't want to make those mistakes, so they're going to go to a more passive CT hold and hope that TYLOO are the ones that make some errors. They're straight away on middle. There's an opportunity for Kaze to find something with the op. He smoked off, and he pulls off at the closer angle. He was playing... Oh, he just goes back out wide. Okay, fair enough. Zoking's here to watch it push through the smoke. They're going to bail back. That all passed to stick around. I was worried he was going to use the flash to fall back, and again, hang Zoking out to dry. But he's going to wait with him. Flash over, and now the fallback. And Zoking can play this close angle. That's fine. It's a really good position, actually, when the op is covering.
Time is ticking. TYLOO have 35 seconds, and look at the push from Orman. He spots that there's no one out towards long, at least for now, and his position might be a bit of a surprise as somebody comes running round the corner. That's another pick for them. Zoking also in an aggressive spot, drops the bomb with 20 seconds left. He finds a second. It's all but over in this round at least. May have not been able to retrieve the AK, but that really doesn't matter. The round is already done. Slowly has no time to get anything done from this position. He's just going to have to run onto the site and try and get the bomb down, and there's no chance of that. 18-17, another map and series point. They've had 3 already and failed all 3 times. Can ViCi finally make Blair's dreams come true?
Zoking better be getting MVP of this map, regardless of what happens. This dude's been unbelievable, playing a role that's so hard to succeed in. When we saw him entry, he's 8 for 5 in opening duels, and considering most of those will have consisted of him running into the B bomb site.
Well, that doesn't account for multi-frags as well. Like there was a round where he ran into the B site and ended up acing it. Like that's ridiculous.
He's also, you think of the A site play, when they go forward, one of his teammates dies, he instantly trades and gets a second opening as well. That's not an opening duel, because technically he didn't get the first kill, but he did, you know? Like, he has played so well.
Yeah, he's been the difference. Definitely from the series earlier. Like, he's definitely been the difference. Jamyong's been incredible as well. I don't want to take anything away. And,
of course.
Well, somebody, you have to mention him. He's on 33 kills. He's looking to try and lead the pack here. As mentioned, it seems like this man rises to the occasion when the pressure's on. Well, maybe he just doesn't feel it. 55 seconds. The bomb's going to start rotating towards his position. Needs to get some sort of opener for them here. There's multiple players already on this site, and you've noticed ViCi have started to hold on to some of their utility. Try and have some later takes. It seems like they might have cottoned on to the plan, but they've still got 3 players over on this A site. Jamyong, he's going to fall off without a kill. Slowly pushing him, but he wins that battle. The second won't come his way, and in fact, Advent's down without anything. A 3 versus 4 in the retake. Summer surviving on his last legs, and they've got a chance in this round. Plenty of time to play with. Not much in terms of utility. In fact, a single HE is all they'll have to throw in, and that's already gone. Hoping to try and clear that close angle, but they have to get a move on. 20 seconds up and coming on this clock. Zoking trying to clear all the close angles. He'll do just that. Somebody should be going down. That's a freebie. Orman, he's found another. It's left all onto Summer. They're on the defusal. They've finally done it. Blair's celebrations can begin. He'll pop the champagne because ViCi have made it to the grand final first. They'll get a 1-map advantage, and they'll get the chance to play for all the money and all the points. And the true traitor of TYLOO, Mr. Blair, has switched jerseys at the last moment.
Listen, at this point,
crown.
It happened, Mitch.
What was that?
Paddy O'Shea, he came out of nowhere. He gave
Mitch, we got it. High fives all around. We're ViCi fans around the world.
We peer pressured you into picking ViCi. Come on, you're not a true fan of any of these teams, Blair. You're
Former handshakes. Get out.